All right.
Yo.
Coming to you live from Philly. It's the number one rated Paulie Tony Fusco Show.
Yo.
As always, Paulie Fusco here with Tony Fusco and Tony.
Yo.
Huge show today.
Yeah, let's
the
go.
Knicks just hired a new coach. Some people say it's a terrible fit. We'll tell you why. It's the perfect choice.
Of course.
And a gambling scandal just rocking the NBA, and these people, morons, they're saying it's bad for the sport.
They don't know anything.
Exactly. We'll tell you why it's clearly good for the sport.
Yep.
And an NFL QB did something that's just so troubling. If you're not troubled by it, well, then you're an idiot.
Yeah, shame on you.
Yeah. On the subject of idiots, look over there, Tony, because we got to a situation we got to address with our producer over there. First of all, you were just at Fanatics Fest in New York, right? Thanks to the massive appearance fee that you were given.
Of course.
People were wondering why I wasn't there. Well, they thought $5 million was for the both of us. No, that was $5 million
each.
Per, which that was clear.
Yeah.
Well, Tony, tell everyone how your time went there.
Well, I'd like to show you how it went there, but unfortunately, our idiot producer over there lost all the footage.
Yeah, dummy. Good job.
I didn't lose the footage. I just haven't had time to offload it yet.
Oh, I see. He's got to offload it.
Yeah,
Tony.
well, while you do that, I'm going to offload into your mom.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Backfired on you. Anyway,
Yeah, it did.
We'll get all that footage when our producer gets around to it. But in the meantime, if you don't want to miss it, make sure you subscribe. You like this video. Also, if
Share
you follow the pod, you rate and review the pod on Apple Podcasts. And, we see the numbers out there, people. Millions of downloads per episode.
Millions.
Meanwhile, we got like 200 reviews out there.
Yeah, what are you doing?
You people have the same work ethic as our producer over there.
Exactly.
I have other things to do.
Oh. Other things to do. Yeah, like dying.
Yeah, here's something for you to do. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. All right, look, we got a lot to do on this show, so let's get right into our top story.
Top story.
All right, first out the gate, a gambling scandal just rocking the NBA.
Yeah.
Pistons player Malik Beasley under investigation in a gambling probe, accused of betting on games that he played in, affecting the outcome of those bets, yada, yada. Frankly, I don't see what the outrage is all about here, right, Tony?
Yeah, me neither. What do we always say the best players in any sport do?
Control the game.
Exactly. Nobody controlled the game better than Malik Beasley, especially late in the fourth quarter, clutch time, when he would either force a turnover or, more usually, deliberately turn the ball over himself. Just total control of both sides of the game.
Terrific analysis there, Tony. And, with all these gambling companies, now working with the leagues, I don't see why they're prosecuting players for gambling on these games. I mean, they should be encouraging it. Don't you think so, Tony?
Of course. Imagine if you could get betting advice from the actual players. Like, what if, LeBron James came out before the game and said, bet on me to miss more than 20 shots? Everybody would be taking that bet. These companies would be swimming in cash.
Such smart advice, Tony, and that's why we're going to take it ourselves. In fact, we have an exciting announcement for all of you out there about our betting app, Fusco Bet, America's #1 new fastest growing betting app. We are adding an exciting feature for all premium subscribers, the new Contact a Player button.
Wow.
That's where you'll be able to directly message an active NBA player and ask them how many points they're going to score in that night's game.
Amazing.
And it's not just limited to the NBA, right? You'll be able to contact players across several sports, including NFL, European soccer, and Russian men's tennis. Just please note, Fusco Bet is not liable if you happen to be murdered. Go ahead, download the Fusco Bet app now.
Yeah, very exciting development there for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And talking about exciting developments here, Tony, the Knicks just announced they've hired former Cavs and Lakers coach Mike Brown to be their new head coach. And Tony, this was just the perfect choice, wasn't it?
Oh, totally. Nobody understands Knicks culture better than Mike Brown.
Yep.
He can get them back to their roots. sucking.
Yep.
You know, the Knicks were becoming too good.
Yep.
And that's not what Knicks basketball is all about.
Nope.
This guarantees them a first-round playoff exit and, at the very worst, a second-round loss. You know, whatever the case, the Knicks are solidly back on track.
Just terrific basketball analysis, Tony. And you know, another reason why this is an upgrade, Tony. My sources tell me that so many people inside the Knicks organization were getting tired of having to remember how to spell Tom Thibodeau.
Totally.
You know, like emails were getting kicked back. It was just like total chaos.
Of course.
But now they won't have that problem anymore, you know?
No. Mike Brown. Very easy to spell. Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Yeah,
right.
done.
Well, now let's move to the NFL, where in a stunning move, the Dolphins announced that they will be trading with the Giants for tight end Darren Waller, even though Waller retired after the 2023 season. Now, many people are questioning this move, saying it's stupid. Not us, right, Tony?
No, I mean, I've never understood why the Dolphins don't go after more retired players. You know, nobody knows the culture in Miami better than retired people. You know, there's tons of retirees in the area. And what do we always say matters most with the player? Experience. Exactly. Sure. You know, they may be slow and out of shape and frail, sickly, and have early onset dementia. But hey, you never have to worry about them breaking curfew because they're in bed by 7 p.m. I'm surprised more teams don't do this.
Me too, Tony. I mean, when you think about it, if you only try to sign active players, well, there's only a handful you could choose from.
Totally.
But if you look at retired players, well, then there's tens of thousands out there you could choose from. Yep.
And you know, so many of those players are not potential Hall of Famers, but actual Hall of Famers.
Yep.
Frankly, I don't see why the Dolphins even went for Darren Waller when Tony Gonzalez was sitting there available.
That great point, Tony. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on here. We turn our attention to one of the big QB battles brewing in the league. This one on the Cleveland Browns, who have several QBs battling for the starter position. Now, many people, idiots, think Shedeur Sanders should get the starting job. Tony, that's clearly the wrong move here, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. There's no better quarterback to lead the Browns than Joe Flacco. You know, people forget that Joe Flacco once beat Damar Hamlin for Comeback Player of the Year. You know, think about that. Damar Hamlin died and came back to life. That's the ultimate comeback. And still, everyone agreed Joe Flacco's comeback was even better. You know, right now, there's no deader franchise than the Browns. So Flacco's clearly their best option. You know, unless Nick Foles unretires. But our sources tell us that's not happening. You know, of course, our source being Nick Foles himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great inside reporting there by us. But hey, while we're talking NFL QB news, we do have to mention this. Patriots quarterback Drake May just got married to his girlfriend, Ann Michael Hudson, who he's known since middle school.
Yeah.
Now, people, they're saying this is sweet, wonderful, yada, yada. Tony, if you're a Patriots fan, you've got to find this troubling, don't you?
Oh, totally. This really just makes me question Drake May's decision-making. You want a quarterback who looks at different options at receiver. Drake May clearly just went with his first option. He didn't even bother looking at any of the others. I mean, where do you think the term playing the field comes from?
Exactly. I mean, you know, you look at Patrick Mahomes. Married his high school girlfriend. Never even bothered looking at all the options out there.
Exactly. And that's why he had to become a running quarterback, because he was just so bad at looking around.
Yup. And you know, you look at the other side of this, Tony. Aaron Rodgers, never married, kept dating different actresses, bouncing around, you know, exploring too many options.
Exactly.
Paralysis by analysis, just poor decision making, could never seem to find the right fit. And now look, just bouncing from team to team, you know?
Yup, exactly. You know, that's why Jalen Hurts did it right. Sure, he met his girlfriend in college, which is a little too early.
A little early,
yeah. But, you know, he waited to propose. He explored all the options, read through all the progressions, and before settling back on his college sweetheart. You know, just great field awareness.
Exactly, absolutely, Tony. And we're talking, you know, around this subject. Let's turn our our attention to the WNBA, the women, which again is something we never thought we'd actually say,
still can't
that we
believe
must
it.
turn our attention on him. But anyway, several controversies brewing there. First, in a recent players-only vote, the players ranked Caitlin Clark ninth among all guards in the league. Now, some people, they're saying that's jealousy, this is stupid. Tony, they don't get it, do they?
No, not at all. By definition, what does a guard do? Keep people out.
Yep.
That doesn't just apply to players, but fans in the arena too.
Yep.
There's so many other WNBA players who are so good at guarding and keeping fans out of the arenas. When you think about it, the less fans you have in the stands, the less distractions, the more you can focus on basketball.
Yep.
Caitlin Clark is terrible at keeping fans out of the arenas. So, in my opinion, she should actually be ranked way lower.
Just undebatable points all around that, Tony. And,
Thank you.
a lot of players in the WNBA, they're still chirping about their salaries because they're paid, 40 times less than the average NBA player. But they're not seeing the big picture, are they, Tony?
No, they don't get it. I know this might sound somewhat controversial, but I think it's great that WNBA players are so underpaid.
Yep.
They play hungry because they're actually hungry.
Yep.
Since they're all underpaid and can't afford to live, you could see their hunger to win and also to eat. NBA players are so spoiled and lazy with their huge salaries and their full stomachs. It takes away their hunger and also slows them down because, all the food in the stomach, Personally, I think the WNBA players should be paid even less.
Controversial take, Tony, but must be said. And when you think about it, what's the most successful movie franchise of the century? The Hunger Games.
Exactly.
If they called it the Full Stomach Games, nobody would see the movie.
Yeah, the WNBA is basically just the Hunger Games in real life. Just with more lesbians.
Great point there, Tony. All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
look, we got some time left in the show here. So, it's July. So we're going to do, because we understand the sports talk business better than anybody else, Tony. And what you do in July, you don't sit and come up with a bunch of dates all the time. It's a waste of time. What you do is you just open the phone lines and you let other people come up with the takes and you just sit back and you go, well, that was good, that was bad, usually bad. Anyway, we're going to do that coming up after the break. Yeah, we'll be right back. We all know the worst part about having clothing. Laundry. There you go.
Yep.
Well, what if you never had to do laundry again? Well, there's one simple way. Buy more shirts. There you go. That's why you got to hit up our sponsor, Fresh Clean Threads. Isn't that right, Tony?
I haven't done my laundry in 2 years, and that's all because I bought 800 shirts from Fresh Clean Threads.
Yep.
This shirt is comfortable, looks great, feels soft, and best of all, I'm saving money by not having to buy laundry detergent.
Yep.
I don't even know how to use a laundry machine.
Yep.
Thank you, Fresh Clean Threads.
All you got to do is go online right now to freshcleanthreads.com and buy thousands of shirts.
Yep.
And if you're worried about the price, don't worry, we got you covered. As a special bonus to you, enter the promo code Fusco15 and you'll get 15% off your entire order. So let's say you spend $5,000, well, you're going to get whatever 15% of that is.
Yeah, whatever that is.
All right, anyway, go to freshcleanthreads.com right now. Enter the promo code Fusco15 and get 15% off your entire order.
You're welcome.
All right, we're back from break. Tony, as we said, it's July. And, when you're in July,
it's hot.
July's all about you just fill in space. You fill in the air time, and we're great at that. But even we have our limits, So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the phone lines, get some takes from you out there, see what you got to say.
Yep.
Probably wind up regretting this. But let's go ahead and open up the Hot Take Hotline.
Hot Take Hotline.
Okay, producer, people, they've been sending in their videos with their takes. Hopefully you didn't lose them all like you did with the Fanatics footage.
Exactly, dummy.
Hopefully you can offload these. Can you?
Yeah.
He's just staring at us.
he's just
so,
looking.
Okay. Yeah, he's angry. Okay, look. Well, here, do your job. Tell us, who's the first video you got back there?
Yeah, what do we got?
This one's from Cade in Los Angeles.
All right, Cade in Los Angeles. All right, play the clip. Go.
Hot take, Jalen Hurts is not a top 10 quarterback. Top 10, Josh Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, Herbert, Lamar, Stafford, Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud, Baker Mayfield, Jordan Love.
All right, first of all, that take was terrible from the get-go. First of all, you went too fast there.
Yeah,
You're going to do a list.
bro.
You got to slow it down.
down.
Exactly. I thought you people in LA moved slow.
Yeah, I thought they were laid back,
Exactly. And they just going too fast there. Number two is, that take was so backwards. Did you see his shirt, Tony?
Yeah, it was backwards.
The shirt was backwards. It had the Lakers logo on it. The logo was backwards.
He doesn't even know what the Lakers logo is supposed to look like.
Exactly. He doesn't know what the logo looks like. Send that one back to
Hold
the
on.
Typical LA fan.
What?
He was shooting in selfie mode, so it reverses everything. That's why it was backwards.
Well, you should shoot your selfie, if you catch my drift.
You know what else I do backwards? Your mom.
There you go. Good.
Yeah, now shut up.
Now shut up.
Yeah,
Except
what's
to
the
just
next
tell
one?
us who's next with
Yeah.
the next video.
Liam from Canada.
All right, Liam from Canada. I play it. Go.
Saquon Barkley is the greatest basketball player of all time. Yeah, you heard me. Basketball, not football. People say, Liam, that's insane. Saquon plays in the NFL. To that, I say, position, irrelevant.
All right. What is
Sport,
this?
optional. Greatness, eternal.
This is why we can't let Canadians on the show. They don't know anything. Anything about sports. I don't even think he knows what a sport is.
No, exactly. It's probably because it's freezing cold up there that his brain cells froze over.
Yeah, his brain cells.
Yeah, that's
they
what
froze
happened.
over due to the cold Canadian weather.
again.
Short circuited.
What?
Oh,
It's summer in Canada now. It's like 75 degrees in Toronto right now.
Oh, yeah, well, it's going to be 7,500 degrees in your apartment when I light it on fire.
yeah. Just shut up already. Just play the next one.
Yeah, can you just play the next one and
Yeah.
stop interrupting?
Stop.
All right, although I got to say, Tony, I actually kind of, the interruptions, these takes are so terrible, I can't decide which is worse. But,
I have to agree with you.
All right, anyway, all right. Who's this next one from?
This one is from Kyle in Canada.
Oh, so after all that, you pick a Canadian thing.
Another
Are you
Canadian one?
Are you even watching the show? Are you? I don't think. Maybe your brain froze over. If there's
Yeah,
even one in
exactly.
there. All right, look, play the video. Go.
Yo, what's up? I'm Kyle Anderson. I'm 18. I'm from Toronto, Canada. And yes, we do have Wi-Fi up here. Thank you for
Hold
asking.
on. Wait, this guy's from Canada, you said. He's got a Boston accent.
why is
He's
he
wearing a
talking like he's
Bruins
from
jersey.
Boston?
What is going on
Are
here?
you sure?
He's staring at us again.
Yeah.
All right, just keep playing it. Fine. Well, let's keep going here.
So first off, I just got to say something that no one else has the gall to say out loud. Producer Jay deserves a raise.
Whoa,
The man is out
Did
here
you put him
doing
up to
real
this?
work
Yeah.
Did
while
you
must
Paulie
have
and
paid
Tony
him.
are just
Why are
yelling
you
at each
paying
other.
them?
This is of all the clips you select?
Yeah, that's the one you
We're closing
picked.
the hotline.
It's done.
Close it up.
Hang up the
That's
phone.
just terrible. You know what, Tony?
That's it.
From now on, we do the
Never
takes on this
again.
show. That was too
Exactly.
much work. Too much work. In fact, I'm sweating here.
Yeah, they were supposed to lighten the load.
I wish I was in Canada right now where it could be colder because I'm just sweating from all that badness.
We need to go
Anyway,
to Canada to cool off a little bit.
Look, let's just wrap the show.
Wait,
here.
wait.
Let's wrap the
Oh,
show.
no.
Wait.
Oh, you
Yeah,
kidding
I'm gonna wrap duct tape around your mouth. What?
Corrections.
What is it?
You got one.
Corrections.
That's
Go,
it.
go.
You said players should be able to bet on games they're playing in.
Yeah, bro.
It's called interactivity, bro.
Yeah.
It's called stupid. That would ruin the integrity of all sports. That's just a terrible idea in every possible way.
Oh yeah, well, you know what I'm going to bet on? You dying tonight.
Yeah. Every way possible is how I'm going to bang your mom.
Oh,
You're
great
done.
one.
And by
What?
the way, you
What?
said about Drake May marrying his first option.
Yeah.
That was offensive.
Well, you're going to marry your only option, your right hand.
Oh, there you go. And then you'll be able to easily put a ring on it. So it works out perfectly for you. Oh, but you know what just worked out perfectly, Tony?
What's that?
Next week on the show, Super Bowl hero Nick Foles will be here.
Huge news.
Don't forget, you subscribe to this, you like the video, you rate and review on Apple
share
Pods,
all the clips.
and you visit our sponsor, Fresh Clean Threads. Enter that promo code Fusco15 for 15% your entire order. And great job as always, Tony.
Same to you, Paulie. Another flawless show.
There you go. We'll see you people next week.
See ya.